You know, how in the world could you be married that many years and be so young? Because you were thinking that, right? Yes, you were. Thank you. Okay. And it's because I'm from Kentucky and we get married very early, like when we're just children, you know. No, not true. We were young. My wife and I met in college. A lot of you know the story that we actually shared a mailbox together, which is how we met, because in our college in Indiana, Anderson University, we shared a mailbox because they alphabetically put, you know, people together to a mailbox, and her last name came right beside mine in the alphabet because her last name was Chapman before we got married, even, which again, you're thinking, well, yeah, you're from Kentucky, that's not quite unusual. I am. Shame on you. She was not my cousin. I don't think. It was a bit of a scary day, though, one day when our kids were learning about Johnny Appleseed. If any of you remember that guy, you know, in history, at least in our part of the country, you know, we learned about this guy who went around planting apple trees, and his name was actually John Chapman. And I remember my kids came home learning about Johnny Appleseed, and as a kid, I'd grown up hearing that we were direct descendants of Johnny Appleseed. It's kind of one of our claims to fame. And my kids came home, and they're like, hey, we're learning about Johnny Appleseed. You know his name was John Chapman? And my wife, before I could say anything, said, yeah, I'm a direct descendant of John Appleseed. So I kept my mouth shut. I think everybody that's a Chapman probably claims that. So that's what I'm going with. I'm going with that. But anyway, our journey together has been, it's been amazing. And it's been hard. And if you've ever heard me in concert, you know I've always said that, partly because, you know, this strange thing happens when you see people on stage and you hear them talk about, you know, their family, or talk about, even sing these songs that I sing, and it's easy to make an assumption that, wow, they really have it figured out because they wrote these songs about it, so that must mean they've mastered these things, or they've kind of figured these things out. And when I sing songs, especially about my relationship with my wife, it's just important that I don't set up some kind of false idea of how things are, because I think we do that sometimes in the church in a way that kind of sets each other up to feel like we're failures, or to use, you know, the enemy uses it to start whispering these lies to us that, yeah, everybody else has it way more together than you do. And that's just not true. And even these songs are written from a place of wrestling with and wanting these things to really be true in my heart. And especially these songs about my relationship with my wife. You know, we've read the books, we've been to the marriage conferences, we've counseled with so many counselors, and through the years, and especially in the last 5 years with our journey with losing our daughter, and there have been many good things we've heard through those things, but we have struggled as much as I think any two people on the planet can, trying to hold this together that we believe God has brought together. And I feel like of all the things we've read and all the good information we've gotten and good counsel, it really comes down to what God told us in His Word when He said, love bears all things, and love believes all things, and love hopes all things, and love never fails. Love just doesn't give up. And so as we have held on to that, even through the darkest of storms, and the most fierce of battles, these songs, some songs have come out of that, and I want to sing this one that's a new one I wrote for my wife. And this is as strong of a song, of a statement that I can make to say to you that God is faithful, of any song I could write. Because that's the only way and the only reason that I can sing this song. And I was able to write this song for my wife, this song called Together, and it goes like this.